What do you want of me? What do you long from me? A slim pixie, thin and forlorn, account white and drawn. What do you make of me? What can you take from me? Pallid landscapes of my frown.
How old are you, Joe?
15.
15. And where are you from?
Macclesfield.
Why are you here today?
To respect Ian Curtis, a singer of Joy Division, because he's like my hero. Well, he is.
He's your hero? So Lady Gaga or Ian Curtis?
Ian
Curtis.
Curtis.
Ian Curtis?
He didn't meaningful lyrics and stuff. And he didn't kind of cover who he was with kind of makeup or anything like that.
He was just who he was, and he
showed it through his music.
Yeah.
Fake.
Not fake.
I was listening to him all day. Joy Division.
It's on all our iPods, I think.
I think it's uplifting anyway. It awfully makes I can kind of like relate to him sometimes. I don't know why, 'cause I'm not like depressed or anything, but it's just something like in his lyrics and like in his music I can relate to. I don't know if because he's from Macclesfield in Manchester.
I think the manner of how he died. I know it sounds horrible, but it's something about it.
What's your name?
Brian.
And how long have you been a Joy Division fan, Brian?
Oh, for quite a few years.
Is this your first time coming here?
No, it's my second. He made a big change in music, so I think it's nice to just come and pay respect.
Where are you from?
I'm Vince. I've come across the Pennines from Yorkshire.
And have you been here before?
No, never. This is my first time.
What made you come today, Vince?
For the 30th anniversary. It's something I felt I had to do.
Why?
I'm a big Joy Division fan right from the start.
Why did you feel like you had to do this?
It's just something I've always wanted to do. The guy meant so much to me, his music, the band Joy Division. It's very much alive today, the music, the words are very much alive today. They mean the same thing all these years later as what they've always done.
You started to say it feels spiritual being here. What about that? What about it feels spiritual to you?
Yeah, I feel very spiritual just being here, paying tribute to somebody who meant so much.
How can someone mean so much to you that you've never met in real life?
Just through his words. His words, they really touch something deep inside.
Would you ever come back here?
Definitely, definitely, yeah.
What did you hope to get out of coming today?
Just this feeling, really, and to meet like-minded people. I've met people from all over. I've travelled certainly longer distance than I have. I think the music would depress people, but I think it reaches certain inner feelings.
Yeah, my name's Stephen Warwick. I come from Bury, which is north of Manchester. It's 30 years since his death, and the first time we ever came was about 3 or 4 months after he actually died. I was 15, so we just felt it was the right time to come back again.
And is it a little bit different today than it was then?
Oh yeah. There was nobody here.
Nobody was here. Was there any flowers or anything on his grave then?
There was obviously the flowers left over from the funeral and that, but there was nothing else. I found it very difficult trying to find it.
Here we go.
Okay, hi, I'm Agent Nelson, and I've come from Belfast. First time I've been to the cemetery and to the grave. I've been into Joy Division music for a couple of years. A friend of mine used to talk about them at work, and I never really cottoned on. I watched a documentary about Factory Records on the television after Tony Wilson's death, and was intrigued, went and bought the Substance CD in Belfast, and haven't looked back since. I've had a hunger for everything to do with Joy Division and Factory Records ever since, and from knowing virtually nothing about them 2 years ago to actually speaking to people that knew. I can't believe the inertia, the interest it's gave me, and it's not anything macabre, it's just the sheer quality of the music. It's just incredible, so intense, so well written. I mean, people get snobby about classical music, but if you listen to Unknown Pleasures, I mean, I'd say that is on a par, if not better, than many what classical composers can achieve. And that's why I'm here today, to pay tribute to the man and the music, and that's why I've come all this way.
Right, I'm Amy, I'm from Burton-on-Trent in Staffordshire. Basically, I've been into Joy Division for about 5 or 6 years, and it's somewhere I've always wanted to do it, and it just felt relevant today with it being the 30th anniversary. I got here, but it was quite overwhelming actually, and quite emotional, and yeah, I'd definitely like to come again, definitely. Just walking the streets he walked, we've been to the house in Barton Street and come in here, and I don't know really, I've just read so much about him and I'm so interested in him, and I think just to be in this environment, and you just, I don't know, if it sounds a bit bizarre, you just feel a bit closer to him, really. So I don't know if it's about understanding him, or I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't call it an obsession, but I'm just so fascinated by him and his life and who he was and his lyrics, and I don't know if it helps to kind of help to try and understand who he was, really. I don't know. It just felt important to come, really.
How did you first discover Joy Division?
It was watching a film called 24-Hour Party People. I was more, because like I say, I'm only 33, so I was only quite small when Ian died, and I was more into the sort of, the 80s and early 90s rave scene, but just sort of kind of got into them that way. And I don't know, it's just gone on from there, really. So just kind of was interested in who they were in the film, and it's gone on, like I say, just gone on from there. It's the band. I mean, Ian fascinates me just because of the kind of character he was, and I mean, I guess that's something we'll never know for sure, but, I think it's just their music. It's just so, I can't honestly imagine or remember another band that have made me feel goosebumpy, but their music does. It's just, I don't know why, it's just so inspiring, and I just don't think there's a band around since who've touched them. So, and their influence on a lot of modern bands as well.
So, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Steve, and I'm from Montreal, Canada.
Jimmy Moretis from Montreal, Canada.
What made you guys come here today?
It's the 30th anniversary of the man that shaped my life, basically.
Really?
I was 13 when he passed away, and it sort of scarred me for all time.
Have you ever been here before?
Never.
Did you come to England just for this?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of what did you hope to get out of coming here?
It's just to pay my respects, basically. It's a man that I admired, even though I was young, but I got to know him a whole lot better after he had passed away, and it's just to pay respects. Ian, he spoke from his soul. He spoke about a lot of things that were very private to him. He was suprahuman. He was beyond humanity at that moment. He spoke to a lot of us back home. There's a lot of people that wish that they were here right now, but unfortunately, time constraints, family and stuff, they just couldn't make it. But he just shaped a generation back in the 80s.
My name's Sarah Eddington from London.
And how did you first hear Joy Division?
I watched the film Control and I just liked it from then.
Why did you go see Control?
It was on telly and I just watched it because my brother told me to watch it and I really liked it.
That was it. Once she watched the film, she just went out and bought all the CDs, all the books, anything that was about Ian Curtis, all the old magazines that had clippings of him in. She just went mad.
All the CDs, New Order and everything.
Your mom said that you have bought copies of Joy Division for everybody in the house.
Yeah, all the books.
How many times have you been to Ian's grave?
Yeah, about 6 times.
What do you do when you come here?
I just sit there all day.
Gifts and things.
Yeah.
How often do you think you'll continue to come back here?
Every year now. 2 or 3 times a year.
Indefinitely?
Yeah.
My name's Ian, I'm from London.
Have you been to the Ian Curtis Memorial Stone before?
Yeah, quite a few times.
How many times have you been here?
I don't know, 25, 30. Actually, no, it must be 30 odds, more than 30.
And when did you start coming?
1982 was the first time I ever came here.
What made you decide you wanted to come?
Well, I was a fan and I knew that he was buried here, but 2 years after the event, otherwise I'd have come.
And is this the first time you've seen other people here?
No, there's been other people here before. Yeah.
Really?
Not as many as this, but on the 10th anniversary there was a few, and the 20th anniversary there was even more. But today there's been more still, at this one time.
When did you notice it start picking up? Like, what were some of the things that...
Obviously after the 24-hour party people and things like that, so really from the last 10 years it's just sort of mushroomed up because a lot of people heard of them, especially at the time. You've got to remember in the 80s no one really listened to Joy Division or had heard of them outside of a small band of people, so it's only since the multimedia that we've got today that people are starting to sort of listen to sort of wider range of music.
I'm called John and I'm from Manchester. Yeah, I try to come most years on the anniversary, or I'll just pop down once in a while just for a drive out or something, just for a moment. I think I probably started coming about 1989, 1990, came with a friend.